you're a resource that is critical. I think that's why you surviving as long as you have to be in this game right now goes to the fact that um, your audience trusts you because they've had enough time to see how you operate, how you think, the stuff you say. And the ones that are more sketchy and fly by night and they're getting the latest little whatever and to make a buck or something, it might take a while, but they've gone by the wayside, and a lot more are going to go by the wayside. You're one of the channels that I'm sure will make it through this next tough moment and be on the far side of these events that are really already underway to discuss and report as we come through this trauma that's just ahead of us. We've all anticipated it for a long time,
Right.
and I'm glad for that. And by the way, you and I, we don't necessarily agree on everything. Janine and I had a conversation many long months ago where, I told her I'm not in that same lane on a lot of the stuff, how she gets what she gets. But from a collegial viewpoint, from a conversation viewpoint, this is somebody that I enjoy talking with, has real, there's a reason why she has survived in the conversation to this point. She's got a certain attitude, skills, presentation. And so I have respect for those that have stayed viable, kept their integrity. And if we have different ways of looking at things, different viewpoints, that's part of the health of the community, that we can have those conversations. So I look forward to being able to come back at later points, intermediately and after the worst of the crisis had, and being able to come on your show with you and answer questions, have a discourse, and somehow be there for this audience as we go through these things together. Is that click for you?
Yeah, it's perfect, Juan. I appreciate that, and thank you for weighing in on that. It was on the minds of a lot of the audience members, and that's why we put out that emergency broadcast earlier today. We know that some viewers, unfortunately, were caught in some of these scams and have lost money, and so we were hard pressed to do that video again. We've been doing these videos for quite some time over the last number of years, but it appears to be accelerating, and we have more and more new viewers watching all the time, and they might not be aware or have the reflexes to protect themselves. So, anyways, guys, if you want more details, go check out the emergency broadcast from 5 p.m. earlier today. On a side note, and as a joke for all the detractors who are saying that you get paid for these events, Cliff High's in the chat and he says, "Man, those cowboy boots ain't cheap." Thanks for
And by the way, Cliff and I, we exchanged a note or two earlier today. I really enjoy. He challenges with some of the words and the uniqueness of the words and what he said. And he didn't know that something he sent me earlier in the day, I knew exactly what it was instantly, because having come out of Japan just recently and some of that stuff, it was very funny when he did that. I thought, I bet you there's not 5 people that we know between the two of us that even would know what he was talking.
Fascinating. I'll ask you about Japan a little bit later
I
on.
have
But
a lot
first,
of
let me redirect the folks, guys.
People.
Juan, hold on just a second here. There's a bit of delay between
the
and I'm having an echo. Right. Just hold on a little bit, Juan. I'm going to redirect the audience now to our Rumble feed. I'm just going to send the link back down here to the YouTube chat. If you guys are still watching us on YouTube, please move over here to Rumble so we can have this no holds barred conversation here with Juan unencumbered. Okay, so let me just remove the YouTube feed here, guys. Give me a sec. Remove, yes, and remove, yes. Okay, I think we're good. Let me just verify. Yes. Okay. So we've got about 6,000 already watching us live here on the Rumble feed, and there's 1,000 or so on Twitter. A great audience. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Guys, before we start with Juan here, I want to show you guys a few news items that we've picked up here just in the last week or so to set the stage for this conversation. And then we're going to go all the way back to early 2024 here for this Antarctica meeting, and how perhaps there were different marching orders given out here, and how we were about to change into a new phase of this war. And this is the conversation I want to have with Juan tonight with respect to this final countdown, these events that are just around the corner, Trump and the military. So first, let's get to it here. We had, of course, the verdict on Trump being a felon here, again, suggesting that we had clearly entered now. There was a demarcation to this next phase into the war. We had Robert De Niro also having his meltdown in all of Hollywood here just before that. I thought it was funny. We had the Cliff High, the CIA plant. What's that doing in there? That's not supposed to be there. You guys can go check that out on Rumble. Of course, we had the Fauci testimonies, very, very damaging here to the COVID narrative. There's guys like Elon Musk suggesting that perhaps this guy should be in jail. And of course, now just today also, Hunter Biden was convicted on these gun charges, all three of them. And on top of that, we have criminal deferrals now on him and his brother. And now, on top of that, the FBI admitted that the Hunter Biden laptop was real. I thought this was interesting because I lost a YouTube channel on this a couple of years back, and now apparently it wasn't false information. It wasn't Russian propaganda, as the 51 intelligence agencies were saying, but apparently it's true. So there's a lot of big news coming out. And again, here, these criminal referrals here for the for Hunter and James Biden. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. And finally, we're just now entering what Juan was talking about for a number of years here, and in earnest, maybe in the last couple of months, perhaps this Cuban Missile Crisis 2.0. So all of that in the span of about a week and a half here, suggesting that, yes, very much indeed, we're getting into this new phase of the war. So no wonder people can't sleep. And if you guys are looking for a better night's sleep, please check out Pure Sleep here, Cliff High's concoction. You can find that at BeyondMystic.net. If you click on the shop page there, you'll get the link and the discount code available for you guys there. Juan, I say all of this here, and I kind of say it jokingly, but I didn't get a chance to talk to you after this particular video interview you had with Nino. You were on your way back from Antarctica at the time. I have a screenshot here on the slide. 3 weeks ago, I talked to Carrie Cassidy in this particular war correspondent report, and we were looking at that a video, that meeting in Antarctica. And she was suggesting that she had heard, and I had heard some of the same rumors, that a lot of people had been invited there to have this meeting where new marching orders, for lack of better terms, were given, and that we were, in fact, going to be entering a new phase of the war. Now, to the extent that you can, Juan, and I know this could be complicated, I don't want to get you into trouble or any operations into trouble. What was happening in Antarctica? Who were you meeting? What was the agenda? What was the desired outcome of it? And to what extent did that set the stage, perhaps, for us entering here now, as I said, this new phase of the war? And to set that conversation for a good meme, I don't remember if you saw this movie, but yeah, it was Brad Pitt asking what was in the bag, but in this case, he's asking what's in Antarctica. So what the hell's going on in Antarctica? Juan,